Hi, Ms. Talbert here with a quick helper on division for my fourth graders. Okay, so a couple things I want to go over. First is our tic-tac-toe method right here. Basically, we have our divisor right here, and this is going to be a guide for when we're dividing. We create our little tic-tac-toe board, and we're simply skip counting, doing our multiples of 4, so it's here as a guide to help us, and you'll see how it can help in just a minute. I also want to go over our little saying. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? And each of these starts, the first letter is representing a step for division. So the D is for divide, M is for multiply, S is for subtract, C is for compare, and the B is for bring down. And you'll see why the compare is so important in just a minute. That's a step that sometimes is forgotten in division and actually in math instruction, period. So I'm just going to work you through how we can use these two little helpers to be successful in division. So I'm going to start by dividing my D, and I'm going to ask myself, how many times can 4 go into 9 without going over? So I want to get as close to 9 as possible without going over. So I'm going to come over here to my tic-tac-toe board, and the closest I can get to 9 without going over would be my 8. So then I'm going to count 1, 2. So I know that 4 times 2 is 8, and that's as close as I'm going to get. So I'm going to come back over here, and after I divide, I always put my answer to dividing right here. So my answer so far is 2, and now I'm going to multiply. So 4 times 2 is 8. This is hard to do and hold at the same time. All right, I've multiplied. Next is my S, and I'm going to subtract. So 9 minus 8 is 1. My difference is 1. Next is very important. It's the C, compare. I'm going to stop and ask myself, is 1 smaller than 4? We're always comparing our difference with our divisor. Is 1 smaller than 4? Yes, it is. That means I've done it correctly and I can keep going. If not, that means I've made a mistake and I need to go back and start over. Instead of doing the whole thing, not realizing I got it wrong until the end, it stops, and it's a self-check every time along the way. So we're going to continue on with our B, and we're going to bring down. I'm going to bring down my 7. Now I have a 17. And I'm going to start all over again with my D, and I'm going to divide again, but now this is my new number I'm dividing with. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times can 4 go into 17 without going over 17? So I'm going to look over here, and the closest I can get to 17 without going over would be 16, because 20 is too high. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I'm going to put my 4 right here on top. And next, I'm going to multiply, and I always multiply with the number that I just wrote. 4 times my 4 is 16. And if I forgot, I've got this chart right here to help me. Pretty cool. And next, I'm going to subtract. My difference is 1 again, and I'm going to compare again. Is my 1 smaller than my 4? Yes, it is. So I can move on to my next step, which is B, bring down. And I'm going to bring down my 2. Now it's a 12, and I'm going to start all over with the process. I'm going to ask myself, how many times can 4 go into 12? Well, I actually see 12 exactly here on my tic-tac-toe chart, and that's 1, 2, 3 times. So I'm going to have it right here. Excellent. There we go. Now we're going to multiply 4 times the number I just put, 4 times my 3. My product would be 12. Then I will subtract. And in this case, I have no remainder. And we have been working with the kids to self-check. And to check their work, all they need to do is do their quotient, 243, times their divisor. And I'm going to just work it really quickly here. And if our product matches our dividend in the box, we know we have done it correctly. So your kiddos can self-check at home. I hope this helps with their mastery of division. Some great little simple tips and pointers to help them out and guide them along the way. Long division is a big undertaking, and having these little guiding steps can really make a big difference. I hope everybody has a great day.